Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, US Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we will discuss new U.S. immigration laws enacted. In just 48 hours, the U.S. immigration system has faced dramatic shifts under the Trump administration marked by faster deportations, aggressive enforcement, and mounting legal challenges. These changes are reshaping the lives of immigrant families and sparking a fierce debate over justice, security, and humanity. If you're interested in this, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell on upcoming video. Over the last 48 hours, the U.S. immigration landscape has undergone rapid and profound changes that are transforming enforcement, deportation, and legal proceedings under the Trump administration. These developments are far from mere policy tweaks. They represent a seismic shift that is reshaping the lives of immigrant families, challenging legal norms, and sowing uncertainty in communities nationwide. From unannounced ICE raids to fast-track deportations, May 2025 marks a new era of aggressive immigration enforcement that hits close to home for millions. Intensified deportation tactics, faster and more forceful. One of the most headline-grabbing changes involves the Trump administration's significant escalation of deportation tactics. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has launched an expansive new operation focused on accelerating the removal of undocumented immigrants. This strategy hinges on a controversial move, terminating certain migrants' court cases prematurely. By doing so, ICE bypasses traditional legal hurdles, enabling the agency to detain and deport individuals more swiftly than ever before. Previously, many undocumented immigrants could remain in the U.S. while navigating a court system hampered by backlogs and delays, sometimes lasting years. Now, the administration is stripping away those procedural protections, allowing for rapid expulsions. Critics warn this undermines due process and exposes vulnerable individuals, many fleeing violence, persecution, or extreme poverty, to deportation without a fair chance to defend themselves. Meanwhile, supporters argue that these measures are necessary to restore order to a broken system and deter unauthorized immigration. The human cost. Families torn apart and communities in fear. The impact of this enforcement surge has been devastating. Families are being ripped apart, with children left in precarious situations. Reports of unannounced ICE raids are creating widespread fear in immigrant neighborhoods. The courtroom has become a battleground where immigrant rights are fiercely contested, as advocates fight to preserve due process and humanitarian protections. Judicial pushback, upholding the rule of law amid enforcement pressure. In a critical legal development, a federal judge recently ruled that the government violated a court order by deporting migrants to third countries without proper due process. This ruling underscores the tension between the administration's push for rapid deportations and the judiciary's mandate to protect constitutional rights. The court found evidence that migrants were denied opportunities to seek asylum or present their cases, instead being sent to countries where their safety was uncertain or compromised. This ruling is emblematic of a broader legal struggle. Civil rights organizations and immigration attorneys are increasingly challenging what they see as an unconstitutional expansion of executive authority. Courts are now key arenas in the fight to safeguard humanitarian rights, defend families, and demand transparency and accountability from immigration agencies. Crackdown on immigration fraud, a renewed federal focus. Alongside deportation efforts, the administration is intensifying its crackdown on immigration fraud and related criminal activities. Over the past 2 days, federal authorities have publicized multiple high-profile prosecutions. Notably, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, working with law enforcement, secured the conviction of an Indian national for submitting fraudulent documents and applications. This case illustrates the government's commitment to prosecuting immigration fraud vigorously. Additionally, a nationwide marriage fraud ring was dismantled, exposing elaborate networks orchestrating sham marriages for immigration benefits. While the crackdown aims to protect system integrity and national security, critics caution that aggressive enforcement risks ensnaring innocent individuals or those manipulated by unscrupulous actors. The heartbreaking toll on children and families. Perhaps the most poignant consequence of recent enforcement policies is the impact on children. New reports reveal that minors, many who have spent most of their lives in the U.S., are directly targeted in ICE operations. These children face the traumatic prospect of separation from their parents or deportation to unfamiliar countries, causing widespread psychological distress. Schools and mental health professionals report spikes in anxiety, depression, and trauma among immigrant youth. Child welfare advocates have condemned family separation practices, sparking protests and bipartisan calls for reform. Despite this outcry, the administration defends its policies as essential for enforcing immigration laws and deterring illegal entry, fueling an ongoing national debate on ethics, morality, and the human cost of enforcement. Divergent state and local responses. Sanctuary versus enforcement. The federal government's hardline stance has ignited strong reactions at state and local levels. In places like Colorado, immigration enforcement funding and initiatives have become highly contentious. Some jurisdictions have bolstered sanctuary policies and limited cooperation with ICE, prioritizing immigrant protections. Others have doubled down on enforcement, aligning local resources with federal priorities. This patchwork of approaches reflects a deep divide in public opinion between those emphasizing law and order and others stressing civil rights and community trust. Looking ahead, legal battles and uncertain futures. As immigration enforcement intensifies, it's clear this issue will dominate the national discourse in the coming months. The Trump administration remains steadfast in its hardline policies, while the judiciary and legal advocates continue to push back, ensuring constitutional limits and individual rights are defended. For millions of immigrant families, uncertainty looms daily, with legal organizations tirelessly supporting those caught in the crossfire. Staying informed about visa categories, application timelines, documentation, and fees is crucial. Whether it's visitor visas, B1/B2, work-related permits, L1A, L1B, H1B, student visas, family-based immigrant categories, or employment-based green cards, EB1 through EB5. Understanding the evolving landscape can make all. Trump signed sweeping travel ban targeting 12 countries. In a decisive move on Wednesday, President Donald Trump signed a comprehensive travel ban affecting citizens from 12 countries, including Afghanistan, Iran, and Haiti, set to take effect starting June 9th. This new policy also imposes partial visa restrictions on 7 additional nations. The administration justifies this action by highlighting concerns over countries with high visa overstay rates and inadequate vetting procedures, framing it as a national security measure. However, critics vehemently argue that the ban is discriminatory and causes significant disruption, particularly to families torn apart, international students, and businesses relying on global talent. While travelers holding valid visas or permanent resident cards are exempt from the ban, they face heightened scrutiny at border checkpoints, adding layers of uncertainty to international travel. This evolving policy demands close attention from all impacted communities. Trump halts entry for Harvard's international students amid rising tensions. The administration escalated tensions with higher education by suspending entry for international students enrolled at Harvard University. This unprecedented order not only blocks new arrivals, but also urges a revocation of visas for current international students attending Harvard. The video has been denounced by the university as both retaliatory and illegal, with Harvard pledging robust legal defense to safeguard its diverse student body. This 6-month suspension emerges amid a broader crackdown by the Trump administration targeting universities' diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and their support for transgender athletes, signaling a new front in cultural and political battles on campus. Supreme Court clears path for Trump to revoke humanitarian parole for hundreds of thousands. In a landmark decision, the Supreme Court allowed the Trump administration to rescind humanitarian parole protections for over 500,000 immigrants from Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, and Nicaragua. Originally established under the Biden administration, this parole had enabled entry on urgent humanitarian grounds. The reversal means many recipients now face the threat of deportation, even as legal challenges unfold. The ruling was handed down without a detailed opinion, but sparked sharp dissent from liberal justices, notably Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who cautioned against the devastating human consequences of this decision. Employers and communities relying on this workforce now face uncertainty as the policy landscape shifts. ICE ordered to intensify arrests, including without warrants. A bold directive from senior immigration officials has called for a surge in U.S. immigration and customs enforcement arrests nationwide, pushing daily targets to 3,000 apprehensions. Internal emails reveal instructions to push the envelope, urging officers to arrest not only undocumented immigrants, but also bystanders encountered during enforcement operations, even in the absence of warrants. This aggressive posture aligns with pressure from Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and White House advisor Stephen Miller, signaling a hardline approach with profound implications for immigrant communities and law enforcement practices. ICE detains family of Colorado attack suspect after visa revocations. In a high-profile enforcement action, ICE detained the wife and 5 children of Mohammed Solomon, the Egyptian national accused of Molotov cocktail attack at a pro-Israel event in Boulder, Colorado. The family's visas were revoked amid investigations into their possible knowledge of Solomon's actions. Homeland Security Secretary Noem indicated that deportation proceedings could commence swiftly. Solomon himself had overstayed a tourist visa and sought asylum in 2022, underscoring the complex and politically charged intersection of immigration enforcement and national security concerns as enforcement intensifies and courts push back. Immigrant communities face uncertainty and upheaval. Staying informed and prepared is crucial as this high-stakes battle over America's immigration future continues to unfold. That is all today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then,